In a world 40,000 years in the future, some guys wanted to play some games with little toy soldiers, but they didn't have that many. So they made the legendary gaming series Tinyhammer 40,000. Now, introducing your host, some guy on the computer. That end.
Hello. Hey. Wow, that guy was kind of cool. Hey. He was all right. He was a good time. That guy's a good fellow. Shout out to that one guy. Hello. Hey guys. Welcome in. I should change my screen. Hang on, we gotta get the tunes going. Alright, how do I do this? There's too many tabs, too many different profiles. Here we go. Alright. Welcome. I gotta turn, hang on. It's too loud. I stream every day. You think I'd be good at it? God. Stupid YouTube. It's on the other profile. Here it is. There we go. Alright. This evening, we're going to have a little gander at what's going to be going down next weekend on the tabletop for Tinyhammer 40,000 2026. That's a lot of numbers. I will be your guide. I am not very wise. I don't know much about about what's going on on the competitive side of the hobby. I just like painting little dudes, rolling dice, and doing things a little bit silly like. But I think it's going to be kind of fun to have a gander through these lists this evening, see what types of armies will be hitting the tabletop. So get some notes, take some notes. Get excited about potential matchups. We will be rewarding with a little prize, one list, but it's going to be your choice as to which list is the one that we give a little prize to. It's going to be the chat's choice. And also, this is a bit of a cool opportunity to have a bit of a gander at some lists and go, oh, I really want to play against that. That looks like it'll be a fun match. So potentially, we can organize some grudge matches for the first round. So, this evening, we shall be having a bit of a look at, obviously, some lists. I've got some fun little statistics to talk about, and of course, as I was just saying, the little accolades, a couple of little mini, little prizes to give out to people. And if you have any questions, queries, doubtful points about the event, drop them in the chat throughout this presentation. Hopefully you got a beverage of some variety in front of you while we're doing this show, and perhaps maybe you're painting some models that are going to be hitting the tabletop next weekend. Maybe some custom objective markers, maybe a display board. Who knows? If you're doing hobby, let us know. All right. So Ronin Games is back again as a sponsor for this event. They'll also be providing some terrain for a couple of tables, which is going to be quite nice. Ronin Games, always a long-time sponsor of the Beasts. Thank you to Ollie and his team. All right. Who we got? Who's coming? We've almost got a full house. Only a couple of lists idle, being Sisters, Genestealer Cultists, and Imperial Agents. Although there are some Imperial Agents representation, so maybe it's only actually Sisters and Genestealer Cultists. So if you want to be I don't know, the one to stand out next year. Maybe start up a Gene Stealer Cults army or some sisters. Of that, some trends, of course, Space Marines are going to be popular. Because, come on, man. Come on. It's Warhammer. Space Marines. It's the whole point of it, right? So lots of Space Marines. Huge uptick in Astra Militarum compared to last year. Doubling. Oh, more than doubling the amount of Astra Militarum lists that are hitting the tabletop this year. Custodes. I know that there is at least one more Custodes player. They just didn't get their list in. So that should be 2. 1 AdMech list, 2 Eldari lists, 5 Astra Militarum lists, 2 Chaos Demon lists. Another big uptick for Chaos Space Marines. Drakari's getting in there. A couple of Emperor's Children. Based Grey Knights player. Votan coming in strong from 0 last year to 3. And then our other factions are kind of holding strong. We're doing things a little bit different this year, introducing 2 different styles of list building, one of which being the classic battle host formation that we've been running for the last couple of years. But I wanted to mix things up and allow for slightly bigger things to come in, but not be not have too many of them, I guess. So I'd say about a fifth of people are taking up that offer and jumping in with the line breaker formation. So we're going to see a handful of big and scaries taking to the tabletop across the weekend. Just what will those be? We'll have to wait and find out. And it wouldn't be a Warhammer event without some Space Marines in it. These units, the Intercessors, Legionaries, and Plague Marines, are the top 3 most included data sheets across the lists. With Intercessors, your classic just rifle squad being the most heavily represented data sheet out of them all. So, hopefully you got some good AP and some good damage to weapons, but I believe if there was an option to add a plasma gun to something, you took it. There's a lot of plasma type weapons across all of these lists, so maybe things will balance out. Something I'm so proud of in this little community that we've built around the Tinyhammer series is the ever-increasing representation of Legends data sheets. Taking things that, no, they're not in the matched play competitive scene, but they're still cool toy soldiers and they still have official rules. So put them on the board and roll dice with them. So we've got 15 different Legends data sheets across the 50-something lists that I've seen so far, and 12 Crucible of Champions heroes. We're trying out the Crucible of Champions character creator system this year, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, we got 12 custom characters. I'm hoping to see some cool kit bashes. And I think my last little stat is there's about 1,300 models going to be hitting the tabletop. That's a lot. That's a lot of miniatures. I'd love to know how long it's taken everyone to get everything assembled and painted, and just how much passion and time and love has been put into all of these models. It's going to be cool. I'm really looking forward to it. All right, let us kick off. Last year we went in alphabetical order. We're not doing that this year. We're mixing it up. We're going to go by faction. Let me go over here. Don't look at that. Eek! We're going to go in order by faction. So we're kicking it off with, some would argue, the best and brightest. The Adeptus Custodes. A tiny list. Nothing but heroes. Blade Champion, Shield Captain, in Terminator armor, and a big old Telemon Heavy Dreadnought. A Tinyhammer staple of the all Custodes heroes list. I'm not going to spend too long talking about every individual list, because my goodness, these shows go for a while, and we've got way more lists than last year. So Sean Jovanovic running the classic Tinyhammer staple of Custodes heroes. Moving along, we go into our Adaptus Mechanicus lists with Matt's Adaptus failed Mechanicus. Dude, I really want to start a Mechanicus army after playing the Mechanicus video game and getting hyped for the new Darktide class. A little bit of everything. Sterilizers, a big old crab tank, some Cataphrons, some Castellans, so the two cool types of robots, double rangers, and then the big old orb of the Tech Priest Manipulus coming in at a decently sized 32 miniatures, and they're all the sneaky ones, the hard to hit ones in the Skitarii Hunter cohort. Another, oh no, that was our only admech list. Going over to Space Elves, and not only are they Space Elves, they're also pirates. They are the best type of everything if you just put a pirate on top. Love to see the Bone Singer coming in as the warlord of this list. Hopefully Kai has the voice lines from Dawn of War 1 memorized, and I don't know, maybe has a little flute to bring along with him while he heals up their Wraith units. Running 3 different types of Wraith units. Rangers, gorgeous miniatures. Some spindle drones as a little cheeky, 35-point unit. Surprisingly tanky. And I'd love to see if these are converted to be some kind of like Wraith construct. Little, I don't know, Wraith spiders or something. Who knows? So I'd love to see what these become. Moving on over. More elves. Mitchell running some more Wraiths, because Wraiths, they're pretty scary. I played against some Wraiths a couple of years back, and they cooked my dudes. 2 Spirit Seers to lead each unit of Wraith constructs. 2 big Wraith Lords, and a little fast, scooty wizard motorbike guy. Kind of pause. Whoa. Can you guys? Oh, no, there we go. I just have immense stream delay. Alright, moving along. I love the look of this list. Aiden's very, very, very cool looking ride of like the Pelennor Fields, but in 40k, with 4 heroes all on a horse and 20? No, 4? Hang on. No, that's like 40 horses. No, it isn't. I can't count. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. I don't know. I can't count. Anyway, 2 reinforced units of Rough Riders, 2 reinforced units of Death Riders, 2 Crucible characters on horses, and some random little foot sloggers to hold some objectives, I guess. This is going to be so cool to see on the tabletop. And again, I hope Aiden's got some Lord of the Rings lines memorized. Moving along on the Astra Militarum train, John is bringing a handful of tanks, pair of Vanquishers for taking out those armored targets, a Hellhound to scorch the infantry, a Lehman Russ commander to drive around and tell them what to do, a Tech Priest to hit things with a hammer and keep them healthy, and then a Scout Sentinel to pick out some targets. I like it. Another classic Tinyhammer staple is the all tanks list. Carl coming in with kind of the opposite. Lots of infantry. 2 units of Death Corps of Krieg, 1 reinforced with a command squad to lead them around. Some artillery, a Vanquisher again, and then another Lehman Russ commander. So a nice mixed bag. Mason's back again for a 2nd year in a row with some Astra Militarum. I'm so excited to see this Sentinel Commander. That is something I definitely want to kit bash myself. Another Vanquisher. The Vanquisher is the correct choice. It is the coolest Lehman Russ variant. Especially when I'm built one when it was the worst tank in the game. So I'm glad that it's really popular and cool now. I was just too early. I was too ahead of my time. Double Bullgrins. I guess to hang around with the big commissar, right? And keep the commissar doing his thing. And that's pretty cool. I'm so excited to see this Sentinel scuttle around and do its thing. Thomas is coming in with some Astra Militarum as well. I love this list. We've got Castellan, some Shock Troops, an Armageddon pattern Medusa, Heavy Weapons Squad, Kazakin, a Russ, some Ogrins, and a Cyclops Demolition Vehicle. Just a cheeky little IED that you can just throw out the middle of the board and blow things up with. Do I want an enhancement? Nah, I'll just take a big bomb. Thank you very much. 30 miniatures. Decent board presence. Thomas is a clever cookie, so I'm curious to see how he goes with this list. All right, I'm liking what I'm seeing in this list. Hewitt running like I was gonna say the trifecta, but that's 3. The quadfecta of demon heroes, leading their respective demon unit. It's a bit of a mouthful, I guess, or a bit of a wall of text to look at. But we've got a Nurgle hero that can lead the Nurglings. We've got a Zinch hero that can lead the Screamers. We've got a Slanesh hero that can lead the Seekers, and then a Blood Master to lead the Blood Letters. Very fun. I like the whimsy of this list. I think it's very cool, well crafted. I love the name of this list. Khan, brutally skull-piled mugged by demon bloodletter leader mid-till kill tape gooting, visibly spiking his gene Sidol. Is it over for Blood Maxes? You be the judge. You decide. We've got the Rendmaster, Skulltaker Bloodletters, 2 Wardog Carnivores, and I guess a Beast of Nurgle who's just along for the ride. Perhaps maybe that Beast of Nurgle is actually like a Beast of Corn, and instead of slime, it's dripping with blood or something. I'm wondering what the narrative justification is of having that stinky little fella along with all of these Corn-8 dudes. Okay, Aiden coming in with our first Chaos Space Marine list. I tell you what, trying to figure out what Legionaries can take, good grief, they have so many options. It's ridiculous. Chaos Lord, the big old power fist, some cultists to bully, Legionaries to go onto a Rhino, maybe the Chosen go on the Rhino, a Vindicator, some Chosen, and the new Warp Talons as well. Running in Packbound Zealot, so everyone's got their own individual little mark of chaos. We've got a little bit of mainly Nurgle and Undivided, with Warp Talons taking Slanesh. I'm wondering, I'm hoping that these guys are kind of like, maybe they're converted or painted to sort of represent the favor of their gods. Moving into our next Chaos Space Marine list, Declan and his Iron Claw Raiders. Aiden coming in with some cool names for his dudes. It's an important part of the hobby. Name your dudes. You spend the time and the effort to bring them to life by building and painting them, so give them a cool name. You got Dreadisk Vespasian, a Crucible of Champions character in Terminator armor, a Wobsmith to hang around with the Mauler Fiend and Vindicator, some Havocs with a little bit of everything, and some Red Corsair Raiders. Super cool that you get so many special weapons in such a small unit size. All right, and our returning title champion, WWE big wrestling belt holder, Dylan is back with some Chaos Space Marines who managed to take out second place overall last year, a shared second place. And he's back to maybe take top, who knows? Or maybe hold his title as second. Will he be successful? Will he be dethroned? Or will he rise to glory? Running Chaos Lords, some Cultists, some Legionaries, some Rhinos, some Raptors, so similar to the previous list, some Mutilators, and some Allied Noise Marines. I didn't know you could do that. That's radical. You get to, dip your toes in a couple of different factions with this list. Kind of fun. I didn't know you could do that, so I learned something. All right, Nick's coming in with some Chaos Space Marines themed after some Fallen Dark Angels with Cypher, along for the ride. One of very few named characters taken in this event, with some Red Corsairs, with the Red Corsair boss, some Legionaries and some Terminators, lots of infantry, decent model count for the fact that they're all Chaos Space Marines and tons of special weapons. Okay, here comes Tim, our runner-up general, another title holder, another medal winner. Is he in to sweep away first place best general? Switching from Custodes last year to Chaos Space Marines, he's taken the Chaos Pill and is a part of a group all theming around, from my understanding, taking a big old Demon Prince in their list. So, very low model count list. Demon Prince with wings, Marcus Slanesh, Warp Smith, Forge Fiends with Ectoplasma Cannons, and a Mauler Fiend. I don't think I've seen a single Forge Fiend not running triple Ectoplasma Cannons. I guess with all of those Space Marines out and about, right? You need to crack that 3-up save and 2 damage to take them all out in one, right? Plus, overcharging's fun. Alright, moving on to some Death Guard. With Jonathan running, again, we were just talking about it, Demon Prince of Nurgle with wings. Double Plague Marines, some Death Shroud Terminators, and double Blight Haulers, the cute little Roombas with their rocket launchers and their melters. What adorable little miniatures. Plague Marines being a popular pick, I think last year as well. Plague Marines were a very, very, very popular unit, like a very commonly taken, a well-represented unit in Tinyhammer. Our next Death Guard list coming in like 20 minutes ago. It was emailed like last night, but I didn't get home till like 1 in the morning. So I didn't see this until I got home from work today. So right at the buzzer, the list is in. Lord of Virulence, Plague Surgeon, more Plague Marines than you can poke a rotten stick at. Some Poxwalkers, Death Shroud Terminators, another Blight Hauler, I love them, and a Chaos Rhino as well. I'm not sure which detachment this one's running, but maybe it's the one where you can just respawn your Poxwalkers every turn, or every other turn. And I think this one's our last Death Guard list, the March of the Malignants, with some appropriate unit-sized Plague Marines, 3 units of 7. The grandfather looks upon this list with great pleasure. A lot of Fox is a Plague Caster for some magic missiles. And again, you got to take the Blight Haulers. They're just too cute not to include. Okay, our Drukhari list. I'm so excited that we got some Drukhari. They weren't there last year, but here they are this year, with Lilith Hesprax herself leading the charge with some fast-moving, stabby, pointy elves. The Succubus and Witches, Scourges and Hellions for your fast-moving. And the Venoms as well. Everything's fast-moving in Drukhari. With that monstrosity, super scary-looking Kronos in there as well. Scourges, absolute peak. They're so cool. Quad Dark Lancers. Hell yeah, I love it. And I know that Tom has... I've seen Tom's Succubus. It's a converted Daughters of Cain character in quite nice bright colors. So I'm really excited to see this list all together on the tabletop. All right, you know him, you love him, the infamous Isaac. He is coming in from the Beasts team. My goodness, it was so difficult getting Isaac to lock in his list. He changed his mind like 700 times. Listen, I feel it. He almost dropped everything to dust off his sisters like yesterday. But he's locked it in. He is taking his Emperor's Children. He was going to come last year, but he wasn't able to, unfortunately. He was not able to make it to Tinyhammer last year, but thank goodness he can finally get out with his Emperor's Children that he was going to take last year. With a Lord Exultant, some Infractors, a Rhino, some Flawless Blades. Such cool models. Those terrifying Noise Marines, and the brand new, impossible to get your hands on, Defiler. My goodness. What a scary looking miniature. I had the I was going to say pleasure. I don't know if I don't think I'd go that far. I had the misfortune of playing a game against Isaac's list last week. My goodness, the fact that you can, like, scout, run, shoot, and charge in this list, like, they're in your face, like, right at the start. So hopefully you got some good Overwatch capability to deal with these guys. Holy moly. But Isaac better win, because he's the only beast playing in the event, so... Morgan's bringing some Emperor's Children as well. Double Lord Cacophonous for double Noise Marines. Those Flawless Blades, because those miniatures are just absolutely peak. And then a Demon Prince of Slanesh with wings. I feel like there needs to be an Emperor's Children off to see whose Noise Marines are loudest. All right. Patrick Bigwood bringing a really cool list. I'm a big fan of this list for reasons we will talk about later. Bringing some Grey Knights. Grandmaster in the big stompy exosuit. A Tech Marine to, I don't know, keep him healthy. Alongside 2 Venerable Dreadnoughts. Classic Castroferum Dreadnoughts, Peak Dreadnought, Chef's Kiss. And a squad of Terminators, which will be zipping around the board. Low model count, but it makes up for it with heart. The little box Dreadnoughts, dude. I love them. All right, Alex is bringing some Leagues of Votann with some interestingly named characters. I think this is a bit of an indication as to the color scheme that we can expect. With a Carl, the Memnir Strategist, to go alongside some Steeljacks. That is what I would be running if I started a Votann army. Memnir Strategist, Steeljack, Steeljack, Steeljack. Some Broker Thunderkin, Iron Here, Hearthguard, and double Capricus Defenders. I can't wait to see these models in person because I don't think I've got eyes on any of the Ironkin. I'm excited to see these guys. Moving on to our next Leagues of Votann army, I believe the next 2 are quite similar. Memnir Strategist, Chthonian Berserks, ×2, Angry Dwarves, Broker Thunderkin, Hecaton Land Fortress. This is going to be the interesting one. I'm really curious to see how these big fellas go across the event. With some Jaegers and a Capricus Carrier for scooting around the board. Coming in at only 730 points. Richard's also running some Leagues of Votann. An Arcanist Evaluator. Throck Grimthane, the Crucible of Champions character, on a bike. Another Memnir Strategist with some Thunderkin, another Hecaton Land Fortress, and 2 units of Hernkin Pioneers. Sort of embracing the bikey gang vibe of the original squads. Chris is bringing a Necron list this year, a very scary one indeed. 2 Skorpek Lords, some Blade ones, some Destroyers, both heavy and normal, some Ophidian Destroyers, and some Skorpek Destroyers. All Destroyers for the Cursed Legion, hitting with really strong attacks. I'm terrified of Necrons, having recently played through the Mechanicus video game. My goodness. The Destroyers are just so scary. This is going to be an interesting list to try and deal with. And also those Flayed ones, man, they're scary. Eric's running some Necrons as well. An Overlord, a Skorpek Lord, so that's more Skorpek Lords to try and deal with. A Technomancer, woo! Canoptek Raid is my favorite Necron unit. A Doomsday Ark, a Locust Heavy Destroyer, and some Lich Guard. Oh, the Lich Guard. They were a pain in the butt in that video game, dude. Nice and small model count, only 13. But some real big heavy hitters here. Those raids, the Doomsday Ark, the Skorpek Lord. And then that Resurrection Orb on the Overlord. As soon as that, as soon as he be pondering that orb, you know that there's trouble brewing. Also, my cat Alexander is here. He's sitting on a little pillow next to the computer. So everyone say hello to Alex. Brendan's bringing some orcs. 52 models in this list. A mech, 2 Warp Heads, Crucible of Champions characters like Psychic Orcs. A big squad of boys. Death Dread, some Death Copters, some of my favorite orc miniatures, a huge unit of Gretchen, and some killer cans. These warp heads will be sitting in those gigantic units of boys. And I don't know if they can go with Gretchen, but maybe they can. I don't know. Don't ask me about rules. I don't know nothing. But they're gonna the more boys around them, the stronger their psychic attacks are. Reset the clock. Ring the bell of shame. Isaac. No, he's fine. He's a good lad. He'll be all right. Daniel's bringing some orcs as well. The Rust Mob. Our big mech, some boys, our truck, some flash kits, some Gretchen, some looters, some Squighog boys, and some tank busters. Loads of different types of units. I love tank busters. I think they're rad. I think the ability, or the capability to load up any sort of dude into this truck, a lot of flexibility. And looters, you get to roll lots of dice. That's why he's running more DACA, right? These orc lists are big. These are some big lists. With Harley's orcs, 56 models led by the Captain Badruck himself, Zogrog Wartsnagger, another named character, and an upstart Gretchen. Maybe, could it be the Red Gobbo himself? Alongside 2 units of flash kits, 2 units of looters, and 3 units of Gretchen. Walls of goblins. I want to see this upstart Gretchen, dude. I'm excited to see this little guy. And I'm hoping, for the sake of that little Gobelino, that Badruck, he dies every game. That Zogrod, he dies every game. But the Gretchen lives and will lead the Gretchen to a mighty victory. But hey, I'm a little bit biased. Oliver's bringing some orcs, a tiny orc list. In comparison, only 25 models. Our big mech, our Death Killer Wartrack, 2 mechs, some boys, a Boomdacker Snaz Wagon, some knobs, a Shock Jump Dragster, a truck, and some war bikers. Bringing the Cult of Speed to the tabletop, doing doughies on the smaller Tinyhammer board. I love the Shock Jump Dragster. If you guys have not played the Speed Freaks video game, I recommend it. It's quite fun. You can paint your car in there. I just like seeing all of the cars move and be animated. And the Shock Jump Dragster is super fun to drive around in and teleport with. I need to go back to that game because they added a level editor. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I like all of the orc cars. They're really fun. And I cannot wait for the new War Track. Come on, let's go. Truck with a wrecking ball. Awesome. I like that you can have a little boarding ramp too. So who's going in the truck? I guess it's got to be the boys, right? Maybe the mechs. Probably all of them. Why not? Everyone get in. Everyone go for a drive. Our event winner, Adam Conrad, coming back with his iconically gorgeous purple smiley face Space Marines, the Emperor's Complaints Department, coming to defend his title as the best of the best. The best, the highest total score across gaming, sportsmanship, and hobby. He's bringing the first of our, I think, 11 Space Marine lists. In the Shadowmark Talon, Lieutenant, Assault Intercessors, Assault Intercessors, a Leviathan Dreadnought with 3 Hunter-Killer missiles. Bro, leave some Hunter-Killers for the rest of us. 2 Eradicators and a Hellblaster squad. These models are so pretty. If you've not seen Adam's army before, you're in for a treat. And he's a lovely person as well. So if you get paired with Adam, you're in for a good game. All right. Alex is bringing some Space Marines, all Terminators, an Ancient, a Chaplain, a Librarian, all in Terminator armor, 2 Shooty Terminators, and 1 Punchy Terminator squad. These are all, at least to my understanding, made with the new Cataphracti Terminators and painted up as Sons of Aura. They look really, really pretty. And if your army... I'm not going to say army. If your... Whoa, hang on. Hold on.
hit the stage in honor of you. How's the other side? I bet it's a splendid view. No more stress for red or to make ends. Collide in the cocktail sheen with envy. I can hide behind lens that block the UV. Looking in from the outside, the bowl is murky. The toll for the bridge is rising. Where the man says Storm City Hall is burning. Same old chaos. Gotta shut myself like I'm waiting to take off. On the runway, scoping out the window. The moisture covers the sight though. Telling myself it's just another day in the life of a starving artist. Trying to paint a dream you walk from, chasing the departed. We used to hang by the bank to see who can skip a stone the farthest. What I thought was a stream is now an ocean. No such thing.
Sorry, my cat started freaking out about something. It's Alex, relax. I had to check on him. Sorry about that, guys. Poor things, poor little babies. Relax. Okay, let's talk about some toys. My goodness. Some salamanders. Coming in from Ashley's collection, Adrex Agaton, 2 Intercessors Tactical Squad to go alongside a Razorback for that classic combat squatting ability, a Stormhawk Interceptor, and an Eradicator squad. The Stormhawk's going to have to pull off some pretty deft maneuvers on the smaller battlefield, doing rings around the edges of the board, doing some strafing runs. All right, Andrew Bigwood coming in with the runner-up Best Painted Army award from last year. He was running Orcs last year, from my understanding, from my memory, and is now running some sneaky Space Marines. Some Phobos armored characters, a Captain, a Lieutenant, and a Reaver Lieutenant, two Reaver squads, some Suppressors, Eradicators. Whoops. Good catch. I have like 700 tabs open. We'll go back to, where was I? Go back to Ashley's list here, which we can have a gander at quickly. There we go. Andrew's also bringing a big old Land Raider Achilles. So I'm curious as to who's rolling around in the Land Raider, unless it doesn't have transport. I don't know nothing. So I'm curious to see how these guys are going to be all painted up. Obviously, Andrew's a great painter. I remember getting bodied by his Slanesh army in Sigmar Tinyhammer a couple of years ago. And it was a gorgeous looking army, so you couldn't be that mad. All right, Ben's running the Stormclaw's Maw Space Wolf list, loading up a bunch of boys into a big old Storm Eagle gunship with double Wolf Guard head takers, assault intercessors, a Wolf Priest, a battle leader, and a captain, all lovingly named. Jarl Torvald Stormclaw, Gunnar Ironhide, and the High Chaplain Sigurd the All-Seer, loaded in to the Winter's Shriek, the Storm Eagle gunship. I love it when people name their characters. It makes it all the more special when you get your warlord annihilated by someone with a cool title, or if you manage to get some good hits in yourself. Right, stand by. All right, sorry, I'm back. Right, some more Space Marines. The Forge Fathers Seekers. We've a Gladiator Lancer, 2 Infernus Marines, some Blade Guards, many Blade Guard veterans, some Intercessors, and the Neo Volkite Storm Shield Lieutenant. This Gladiator Lancer is a popular Space Marine pick. And that Blade Guard veteran squad, my goodness, that's gonna cut through lots of stuff. Listen, I that little upstart Gretchen from before, I'm not liking his chances. I'm sorry. Some more sneaky beakies coming from Dexy with a captain with a jump pack, Librarian in Phobos armor, some Eliminators with las fusils, a Gladiator Lancer, some Infiltrators, a Tactical War Suit, and 5 Inferno Pistol Vanguard Vets. If you've got heavy armor, you might struggle. You might struggle against these guys. And they're sneaky. Kyle's running some Space Wolves. Lieutenant in Phobos armor, a Wolfguard Battle Leader, an Eliminator Squad, some more Head Takers, double Thunder Wolves, and double Javelins. Javelins are cool. They look awesome. I can't wait to see those on the tabletop. Nice mixture. Some cav, some vehicles, some infantry. I like it. This is quite a nice Tinyhammer vibe list. Hayden's running some Black Templars with a champion of the chapter Crucible's character. My goodness, that's a lot of C's. I'd love to see what they're made out of. The Marshal, leading some Assault Intercessors with Jump Packs, some Sword Brethren, Outriders, Ballistic Dreadnoughts, and a Leviathan Dreadnought as well. This is also quite a good Tinyhammer feeling list. Some infantry, some cav of different varieties, and some big stompy robots too. Young Marlowe's back again with his Blood Angels, keeping the Inferno Pistol theme going, with 2 Chaplains, a Death Company Captain, Bulk Death Company, a Dreadnought, and some Hellblasters. I guess just along for the ride too. Lots of Melters, lots of Plasma, lots of Inferno Pistols. Nathan's bringing the Shadow Mark Talon Space Marines, Captain with Jump Pack, 2 Tech Marines. I guess keeping 2 Gladiator Valiants up and running. 2 times Intercessor Squad to jump around, put grenades downrange, hold objectives or pinch objectives, and the iconic 5 times Inferno Pistol Vanguard Veteran Squads to go and melt things. Neil's list is the hunt for the dreaded Ambull. Your army, it just so happens to be in his way for his Death Watch's mission. Inquisitor Eisenhorn leading a collection of Death Watch veterans, intercessors, and terminators alongside a double shooty dreadnought to go and find Gilbert, the dreaded Ambull, who just so happens to be near where your guys are. I think this list already tells a story, which I love, and I can't wait to see what Gilbert gets up to. If you didn't know, every single time anything attacks an Ambull, it gets to fight, which is kind of cool. If it just charges itself into a big blob, it starts spinning like a Beyblade. Alex is bringing our one and only Tau list with the experimental broad type cadre. I heard a lot of people talking about Montcar, but they are not here today. We've got the experimental prototypes led by Commander Farsight. We've got a nice mixed bag of all of the fun things in Tau. Breaches strike teams for your infantry dudes, a devilfish to fly around and perhaps be furious. Like Days of Yore, some Pathfinders, a Riptide, and a Broadside. We get a little bit of everything, lots of robots, lots of flying tanks, classic sci-fi, 35 models. Patrick's, with his bold statement, Magnus did nothing wrong, is bringing 23 models in a Rubicray Phalanx, a Sorcerer, some Rubik Marines, a Mauler Fiend, 2 units of Scarab Occult, and 2 units of those zippy Zangor Enlightened. No, they're not the ones with the bows. The ones with the bows say that they have the bows. Scarab Occult Terminators are terrifying. I remember I played a game against them a while back, and my goodness, it did not go well for me. Very, very, very cool miniatures. So excited to see how these guys do, and if indeed Magnus did nothing wrong. Wayne's got some 1,000 Suns as well, led by Matt Demon, the Demon Prince of Zinch with wings. 2 Megalith Vortex Beasts, Brittany and Shania. Some more of those terrifying Scarab Occults, and these are the Zangor Enlightened with the Fatecaster Great Bows. I want to know the Brittany and Shania thing with the Megalith Vortex Beasts. No, I was going to make a Shania Twain reference, but she was talking about Brad Pitt when she said that don't impress her me much. Well, this list, it does impress her me much, because I like mutoliths and I want to see him on the tabletop. Chad is our first Tyrannid player. One of a few in each list has a bit of a vibe to it. So this one, Neurotyrant leading the charge with a big old brick of Termagants. Tyrannid Prime with Lash Whip. Big unit of stabby Tyrannid warriors, some Hive Guard, a Carnifex, and some Zoanthropes. Lots of scary psychic attacks. Neurotyrants, that like flame attack that they have. My goodness, my poor guardsman never stood a chance. Especially when my whole regiment's thing was having the benefit of cover. Thank you, ignores cover special rule. Elliot's taking a nicely compact list, again with that Neurotyrant. An Exocrine, a Scrimmar Killer, a Toxicrine, and a Tyrannofex. Nice and small and to the point. 5 big-ass models. Rolling big dice for big damage. Paul is bringing an invasion fleet led by a Tervagon. 2 huge blocks of Termagants, and the Tervagon keeping them healthy. Tyrannid Prime with Lash Whip, some Hormagaunts, and 2 Carnifexes. This is a very classic Tyrannid list. This is what I think of when I think Tyrannids. Reminds me of when I got started in this hobby, late 3rd edition, early 4th edition. Those Carnifexes, they're scary, man. They're scary again. And I'm so happy for it. Rowan, referencing my favorite bit of Tyrannid background, the Nephilim King. Bringing 44 Tyrannids, 2 Tyrannid Primes with the Lash Whip, a Winged Tyrannid Prime, big block of Hormagaunts, 2 big blocks of Stabby Warriors, and some Neurogaunts as well. I think the aesthetic of these large Tyrannid Warrior units led by the Lash Whip Tyrannid Prime is going to be quite awesome to see. Joseph is our World Eaters list for today, running Khorne Demonkin, Master of Execution, Slaughterbound, some Bloodletters, Khorne Berserkers, Blood Crushers, Exalted 8-Bound, and some Jackals. Tons of models in this list, and a mixture of mortals and Astartes and demons all together. Those Blood Crushers. Oh boy, I would not want to be on the receiving end of a charge from those. And man, that Slaughterbound, man, he's going to go nuts. I'm excited. Michael's running some World Eaters as well in a Berserker Warband. Demon Prince of Khorne with Wings, Master of Executions, Khorne Berserkers, the iconic and oft talked about triple Ectoplasma Cannon Forge Fiend, and a Mauler Fiend. Man, how cool is it that Khorne Berserkers could just run like bulk plasma pistols and all of these eviscerators? I'm quite a fan. Sorry, I'm hearing scratching on my door. That's a bit startling. All right, and that is all of the lists that we have in this evening. We kind of went through them quite fast, but it's almost been an hour. I didn't want to keep you guys waiting too long to see your list pop up. We got 3 things. We got 3 lists, or 3 categories that I'm going to give awards to, and then you guys are going to pick an award or pick a player to give a little reward to for their list. You could be voting based on theme or vibe, number of models, or just units that you like the look of or have never seen on the tabletop before. So first of all, we've got the tiny list, and this is a dual award because we've got 2 lists of equal amount of miniatures but almost opposite each other. Sean Yovanovich and Elliot Boyd, the lads on tour from the Custodes, and then the big Tyrannid monster list. It's kind of cool that the Custodes list is 4 small dudes, 1 big dude, and then the Tyrannid list is 1 small dude, 4 big dudes. I love the challenge that Tinyhammer list building posits, and the invitation to make some things that are a little bit weird and out there, and seeing just how few models you can put in, as well as how many models you can fit into a list, which goes on to our Hammer Award. The most amount of miniatures is Harley's Orcs at 56 Orcs. Hopefully, you got some movement trays. for all of those little Gretchen, so you can shuffle them up the board and have a nice quick movement phase. I guess Flash Kids don't need to move far to roll bunch of dice and blow stuff up, right? And this is my little visualization of what the army looks like. With that, you notice that there are some small stars representing the Gretchen that are smaller than the rest. And the Lore Master list, this was hard to pick. This was hard to pick because we had lots of really, really cool narrative-themed lists with lots of names for characters and units. But Patrick has gone that extra mile and has named every single miniature in their army. They're running 8 models, not 8 units, 8 miniatures. But every single one of them has a name, as we can see here. Squad Cyprian with Justicar Valcor, Apothecary Ral, Brother Drave, and Brother Severian forming the one unit that's more than one model. Venerable Thalos the Lightbringer, Venerable Agarian, Veteran of the Force War for Armageddon, both being Dreadnoughts, Adept Morvain being the Tech Marine, and then Grand Master Cadon Van, High Seneschal of the Citadel of Titan. So congratulations, Patrick, for your incredible naming conventions. These are baller. And finally, that brings us to the chat's choice to round out our evening. Let us know what your favorite list was, either in the stream comments, chuck it in the Tinyhammer Discord page. I don't know. Listen, I'm gonna be so for real. I don't know how to use Discord. I don't know what you call groups and pages and channels in there. You know what I'm talking about. If you know about it, you know about it. If you don't know, ask someone that knows. Or put it on the Facebook event page. I know how to use that one. This is also a bit of an opportunity to have a think about who, out of all those lists, you might want to line up a game with for game 1. Again, if you've got a bit of a grudge, if you've got a friend coming from out of town that you want to line up a game with, confirm that you're going to have a game with them. Again, let me know and I'll try and make that happen for the first round. For my final announcement, I will announce that we are running Tinyhammer Age of Sigmar at the end of August on the 29th and 30th. More information to follow, but keep an ear to the ground. Thank you for hanging out with me this afternoon. I need to attend to these beastly beasts, these cats. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Looking forward to a fun weekend of dice rolling. I can't wait to see you there. Good night.